much every major movie chain that you know of in the United States has picked it up. It's been so hard.
This is like one of those like fan bases like of a YouTuber that literally actually pays off for being a good person because what's up? Yo, what up? It's Smosh here back in another video. Today we're about to be reacting to a video by Pexto. Video is going to be on where are these OG YouTubers today. I mean, I can only guess where one OG YouTuber, well, no, actually two. One on the screen, PewDiePie. I think he was still making videos to this day, but I guess he stopped making family vlogs because of privacy. And then Markiplier is still around today, literally doing it big, you know, making the Iron Lung movie, and that became like a big ass like thing. It became huger than some of the movies, but then, you know, the Hollywood part kicked in and then they try to mess with his movie. You already know Hollywood don't like up and comer YouTubers or even, you know, fan indie films doing better than them. Like, they barely even like Obsession doing better. But let's just get into the video and see where some of these other people are.
Longevity on YouTube is the hardest thing to achieve. Many of the OG YouTubers have either turned out to be terrible people or sunk into irrelevancy. However, some of those OG YouTubers have managed to either maintain their relevancy, while others have achieved unforeseen levels of success. So here is what 7 of those OG YouTubers are doing today. Starting with PewDiePie, who inspired a generation of fans and content creators alike with his gameplay and fun personality. His unique content and connection with his fans, who he referred to as his bros, was so closely knit that PewDiePie gained over 100 million subscribers by August 2019. However, the large fan following also came with its share of ups and downs, with PewDiePie's most famous controversy coming during his feud with Indian media company T-Series.
No more will we become oppressed by mainstream media.
Which resulted in some of PewDiePie's most viewed videos, including the song Bitch Lasagna.
Bitch lasagna, look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama.
However, once the feud turned into something more sinister and out of PewDiePie's control, he took accountability.
To have my name associated with something so unspeakably vile.
Jesus Christ, I already know what's coming because, like, I'm a big crime watcher and I watch these crime videos, and his name was associated with a shooting.
Has affected me in more ways than I let shown. I just didn't want to address it right away, and I didn't want to give the terrorists any more attention.
An act which earned him respect within his fan base and the wider online community. You'll always be the #1 YouTuber in our hearts, Felix, and for good reason, as PewDiePie made the decision to put his YouTube career in the back seat and moved to Japan in 2022 to start a new life with his family. But unlike other creators, PewDiePie never forgets the people who brought him to this stage.
It really means and changes a lot, so thank you guys, everyone, from the bottom of my heart, for 15 years. That's seriously, yeah, thank you.
And with the extra time on hand, Pewd started working on his other passion projects, including creating his own AI tool, Odysseus, an open source AI workspace that runs entirely on your own hardware with no monthly fees and no data sent to any cloud server.
We will no longer be abused. This project will never.
How are you gonna make money from that though? I don't know. He gonna have to think of a way to make money from that anyway, because, like, in a sense, I kind of get, like, AI companies have to make some type of money.
Cost any money. That's my return, okay? But you have to make meaningful changes, not just comma doctors, okay?
This ingenuity cemented PewDiePie as a savior in the eyes of his fans. This man's boredom might save us from evil corpos and their AI. And much like Pewd's, people share similar feelings about Markiplier, who shot to fame thanks to his charming personality and especially his first horror game walkthroughs. And this eventual rise to internet stardom felt even.
Yeah, hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like everybody, like, probably just watching PewDiePie when they grew up. I was more of a Markiplier fan. I was more of like just an avid watcher of him. I loved his horror type of playthroughs, and bro, they were just perfect, bro, at the time, because I started watching him when I was like 12, bro, and that was an era when everybody was into Minecraft.
Been sweeter considering how difficult Mark's early life had been.
The last words that he said to me were, "I love you so much, and I held my dad's hand as he died.
This sentiment was also recognized by his loyal fans. Your father would be proud of you for everything that you have done and all that you have overcome. However, Mark's consistent horror game playthroughs led him to an indie game called Iron Lung.
Any game that can create a constant and pervasive sense of death lurking right outside a thin metal wall is a pretty cool game in my book.
Mark decided to adapt it into a feature-length film.
But if I'm going to be taken seriously in one way or another, I have to make a movie at some point that appears in theaters. I knew that. I don't do much strategy, but that's probably the first part where I was just like, okay, if I want to make bigger things in the future, I have to at least make a movie so they can be presented on an even playing field from everyone else's productions and they could take me seriously as an artist.
Despite Markiplier's large audience and plentiful resources that come with being a successful YouTuber, getting the movie in theaters was difficult.
If you want it, simply ask your local movie theater if they can, as politely as you can. We're doing our best to get out there. If we can get it international, we will do our best to make that happen. I want as many people to see this as possible, and I will do everything I can to make sure that it is the best experience for everybody as possible.
Following this, Mark's fan base started contacting their local movie theaters, which led to something incredible happening.
Pretty much every major movie chain that you know of in the United States has picked it up. It's been so hard to juggle all of this for so long. I just never expected something like this.
See, this is what happens when you're not a fake person, when you're just like stay true to your craft, you just like stay true to being a good person. This is like one of those like fan bases like of a YouTuber that literally actually pays off for being a good person, because like you're surrounded by people that literally actually genuinely like you instead of you just trying to do everything for views. He does this because he enjoyed like, you know, being a YouTuber through all these years. And that's like people could sense things about you. People could sense like you actually enjoy, you know, making videos. So like that's like how you get like a damn near dedicated fan base. This is like this is probably like an over amounting support for a person that I've fucking ever seen.
Which resulted in Markiplier's film earning over $50 million worldwide and the praise of thousands of fans. Never thought I could be so proud of someone I never met. As for the future, Markiplier plans to keep adding to his resume.
Are you gonna make another movie? Oh yeah.
That's obvious.
But while Markiplier seems like he hasn't hit his peak yet, Ryan Higa, aka Nigahiga, has kept a more low-key profile, which is hard to believe, considering his channel was the quickest to reach 2 million subscribers in 2010, thanks to his comedic skits, which included iconic videos like How to Be Ninja. This unique style of content helped Ryan become one of the largest creators on YouTube, boasting over 20 million subscribers by 2018. Can't imagine YouTube without Nigahiga. Dude is literally the best example of longevity on this platform. But while it seems like Ryan could have competed with the likes of PewDiePie and Mr. Beast, Ryan's uploads on his main channel dropped until October 2019 when he addressed his absence.
For the longest time, I tried to fight that system, and I always believed that, you know, you should focus on quality and not quantity. Even if I had to sacrifice, you know, a whole month of not posting videos, which will take a hit on your funds.
And in an age where everything was consistently pleasing the YouTube algorithm, Ryan wanted to do things his own way.
Yeah, at the time, I didn't even know I was gonna take a break. At the time, I was gonna either take a break or quit.
However, by 2020, Ryan posted another update video titled My Midlife Crisis.
Look, there's nothing wrong with getting old. Everybody ages, all right? The only thing that's sad about you turning 30 isn't the fact that you're acting old or that you're changing in any way. It's the fact that you're not.
But Ryan had already outgrown his past self. Following this move, he hasn't uploaded to his main channel since 2020, but continues to stream on Twitch and post clips on Higa TV. But while Ryan Higa hasn't reached the heights he did in the
I mean, hey man, at least he still, you know, posts and is actually active within his community, bro. Cause like it could be a lot just like posting on YouTube every day. I mean, I do it every day. I've uploaded I know I'm not trying to compare myself to bigger YouTubers, calm down, but I have uploaded since January the start of January 2026. I made my goal to upload every day until this year, and my main goal for this year, I wanted to reach 1K. I'm almost there. I'm just hoping. I know I can get there by the end of this year. That's what I'm at least hoping. But yeah, Do what you want with that information. Help me how you need it.
2010s, Ray William Johnson has rebuilt his career from scratch after losing everything. But before that happened, Ray William Johnson was arguably one of the most popular YouTubers on the planet. His own reaction channel, Equals3, became one of the most watched series on YouTube, making Ray the first YouTuber to cross the 5 million subscriber mark. In fact, he even gained the admiration of Hollywood icons like Robin Williams.
He pulled me aside. He's like, hey man, I want you to know I'm a big fan of your stuff and I've been watching it. I can't believe that you just got an idea and that you just went out and did it and you just started filming yourself. Like, that's so crazy to me. No one handed you or anything like that. Yeah. And I think you're going to do really well, man. Keep going.
By 2012, Ray William Johnson was one of the faces of...
Damn, getting praise from Robin Williams, a legend. Hey, that's praise in itself right there, man. Honestly, the only clip that ever comes to mind of Ray William Johnson is that Star Wars clip of him saying, damn, nigga. And then he... I don't know. It's such a meme and just so ridiculous, bro. I could just forgive the fact that he just said nigga.
YouTube, and he could have turned out to be one of the biggest creators there if it weren't for the company he was signed to, Maker Studios.
Basically, Time Warner tells Maker, you know, they start looking under the hood and they go, oh, you have all of these social media influencers under these contracts, but you don't own any of their content.
As a result, Maker Studios tried renegotiating a contract with Ray. However, the terms were much more aggressive and Ray didn't accept.
Now, in the near future, Equals3 will no longer be part of the Maker Studios network, so I'm going to film here for a while. Even if I don't have the proper equipment at home, you know what? Even if I have to film butt-ass naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode.
And this decision didn't go well at Maker Studios, who tried threatening Ray by withholding his AdSense revenue to force him to re-sign on their terms. But these threats were exposed by Ray in an article which was later picked up by media outlets, and the story blew up.
The media picked up on that, and they were like, wait a minute, this company that Comcast or Time Warner now owns, the CEO is death threats? Yeah, is threatening this guy. And then they all hit me up for a statement, and I was like, I do not do this. This is not my thing.
Despite winning the public battle, Ray eventually stepped away from Equals3 in 2014.
I feel like I've done everything cool that there is to do in this medium, and I've had a ton of success, and it no longer feels gratifying. Yeah, I know, it makes me sound like a spoiled bitch, and I'm gonna be really candid here and say this. I'm the kind of person who has to keep moving forward and has to keep being creative, or I get depressed.
Ever since, Ray has pursued acting and screenwriting, but his true YouTube comeback arrived in 2020 when he pivoted to true crime. Today, his strong viewership across all platforms proves he has successfully rebuilt his career, cementing him as one of the rare OG creators to thrive across multiple eras of the platform, much like MatPat, whose iconic series defined.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap that. That's kind of really hard to just stick through it and, you know, become something better in this in this like whole kind of like generation of YouTube, because it's really hard to do that. You already know how this algorithm is, and you know how like how it is for a person just to stick out that long and, you know, just keep doing videos for that long. I respect it.
A generation of kids.
Do you want to know more about the games you love without having to put in any work of your own? Well, now you can play and learn. That's right, Weboverse. We have created Game Theory, gaming's tangential learning experience.
And the success of his channel was immediate, with Game Theory crossing 1 million subscribers by 2013 and 10 million just 5 years later in 2018. But arguably, one franchise has done more for MatPat's legacy than any other.
Hello once again, theorists.
Nice
Welcome to MatPat Plays. Today we are playing the scariest game of all creation. Probably never heard of it. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's. Here we go.
Over the next 10 years, MatPat would upload several videos exploring the game and the many theories around it, cultivating a massive audience in the process. But all good things must come to an end, and for MatPat, that came on January 10th, 2024.
We've done it. I think we've been able to achieve something great here. You have taken me on the wildest, craziest 13-year ride of my life. And I'm so grateful.
Having sold his company to a startup called Lunar X, MatPat passed the torch on and now focuses his attention onto other pressing matters. He's basically trying to speak to politicians as a representative of creators on the internet to advocate for their needs. And despite MatPat moving on to bigger things, his fans still have the same thoughts about him. The memory, the lessons, and the hearts he made beat remain intact and kicking, something which many fans also think of.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of really cool to, you know, kind of like, it takes a strong ass person to just like, you know, let go and just like retire from a channel just you know, not forcibly, not because some sort of you know, whole thing that's going on within your life on the internet, you ruined your career or something like that. He just retired on his own on a good note. That's
Ian Hickox and Anthony Padilla, the creators of Smosh, who started their YouTube career in 2006, and their skits and lip sync videos got them viral fame within a year.
What is Smosh without this sort of like foundational beginning of being like two best friends making videos?
That's true. That was the entire brand.
And these two best friends ended up becoming the first channel to hit the 10 million subscriber mark on YouTube in 2013.
You know, if we got 10 million subscribers, I would whip out my dick, do the helicopter, and take a video of it and upload it to YouTube.
As their channel continued to grow, Smosh felt like a consistent mainstay on YouTube. But in 2017, that all changed.
I'm leaving Smosh.
I know a lot of you guys are probably going to assume he's leaving because we got in some sort of big fight or because we hate each other. No. But I can guarantee you guys it has nothing to do with that.
The real reason behind Anthony's sudden departure was the company that owned Smosh, Defy Media.
And I had to come to terms with the fact that Smosh, being part of a company, has put all of my creative decisions through a filter of what's appropriate for the Smosh brand as deemed by the company. I need to feel that happiness again.
The decision devastated fans. And just like that, a chunk of my childhood.
Wasn't this like, yeah, I think, wasn't this the same thing like Ray William Johnson had to get out of Defy Media? I really wish they kind of got out of this whole thing too.
Childhood has been atomized, but after Anthony's departure, Ian was left to keep Smosh afloat.
I mean, I paid some editors out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I just, you know, the show had to go on.
Yeah, we filmed some videos on my iPhone. I edited those on Final Cut. Yeah, we all did a little extra.
I had to learn how to upload to YouTube again.
And later on, Ian was the one who financed a deal after his parent company, Defy Media, went out of business.
We had sold Smosh years and years and years ago to Defy. So when Defy went out of business, then it was in the hands of the bank. And it was just going to be sold to the highest bidder, essentially. A guy that I knew, we started trying to find a way, build a business plan, and essentially like pitch Smosh to investors.
The effort changed Ian as a person, who was traditionally considered the person who stayed inside his comfort zone. But Anthony's departure forced him to step out. And in 2023, the deal Ian had brokered went through.
Today, Anthony and I can say officially that we own Smosh. Yeah.
This shit's ours.
It's ours. We bought it.
I got the password.
Yeah. We own Smosh now.
For their fans, the story felt like a fairy tale. This feels like your divorced parents getting back together after 20 years. And the pair were just as excited to keep making new videos as they were in 2006.
This is like the logical like conclusion to everything that's happened. And now we just get to create comedy again.
But where Smosh had a happy ending, Lucas Crook.
That's a fucking good ass happy ending to a whole thing, cause like it really proves how like stuff was like back in the early 2000s, is like how YouTube's AdSense worked back then. You had to be owned or, you know, partnered through some type of fucking company for, you know, in order to get paid through YouTube. I'm glad they finally made a change to that, but like for, you know, some OG channels it was like way too late. But like I mean, I could probably get like why like Smosh probably stayed in there that long, because like all they had to do is just like do comedy clips and just, you know, get paid pretty much. They didn't have to do no uploading or, you know, pay editors. But now at least they own the whole channel, and they just get to hire people to just do editing, and just that's pretty much it.
Shank, aka Fred, couldn't recreate his early success on YouTube later down the line. But there was once a time when Fred was a massive star on YouTube thanks to his comedic skits based on...
I'm sorry, I feel like this whole like comedy thing Fred did, it had a shelf life, and it also kind of had like it kind of had like a little thing. It's like a little time capsule of it just being stuck in that little whole thing. Nobody really kind of thinks a high-pitched ass voice is funny anymore, especially, you know, getting around like the late 2010s. Yeah, people were turning on him.
On his created character, Fred Figglehorn. These skits exploded on YouTube, with Fred's views rivaling a modern-day Mr. Beast. It's insane how he created an entire world, and we accepted and came to understand his characters when all we ever saw was Fred on our screens. And Fred's imagination helped him cross over to television on Nickelodeon, where he appeared on an episode of iCarly in 2009.
Okay, are you ready for this? Look out, people, because here comes Fred.
The connection with Nickelodeon didn't end there, as Fred would go on to feature in 3 films and got his own TV show.
Did you ever think it would lead to Fred the movie?
No, that was not even, I didn't even know that was possible. When I first started making videos on YouTube, like, YouTube had just been created, so like there's no one had ever been discovered or...
However, by 2014, Fred would say,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that one movie with John Cena, well, him and John Cena made like the crazy ass duo. I didn't really like the Fred movies, but it was just one of those early 2013 movies that I actually just watched. It was just, it was funny. It was low key funny, but not that funny in a cringy way.
Sell his channel to a Korean media company, Collective Digital Studio, who decided to make some changes on his channel.
I will be opening up the channel to you guys. That's right, if you have something you've made and you want to see it on here, then send it over. Because I'm Lucas, but I'm Fred. And you're Fred.
And you're Fred. And you're Fred.
Which was the worst decision they could have made, as the following uploads didn't hit a fraction of the views Fred was getting on his older videos, and it led to the channel being abandoned since 2015. This is no longer a channel, it's a museum. And while the original Fred channel is no more, Lucas is still active online on his second channel, where he still uploads regularly. And while he might not have lived up to the potential he showed in his early career, Lucas has made a great career for himself and will always be remembered as one of...
That's true. He will always be remembered as one of the early classic YouTubers of that time. But hey, man, like I said, these YouTubers, I'm glad they actually had like a happy ending, unlike some other older YouTubers back in those days that just like ended with like drama and, you know, a lot of vile bullshit. But hey, man, a lot of respectable ass YouTubers on here. Markiplier is still my favorite to this day, and congrats on these fools just like having like the most perfect ending for a YouTuber. Some kept going, and that's like thankful in himself. But hey, let me know who's your like favorite OG YouTuber from back then. Maybe let me know if they still active or just, you know, just gone for I mean, well, damn, you know, basically gone for the time. They're not uploading no more. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. The original link to the video will be in the description, and we are on the road to 750.
He was the best guy around. What about the people he murdered? What murder?